My name is Alice Albright. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Global Partnership for Education, and I was kindly invited here today to talk to the fellows about education in developing countries. We talked about the challenges in global education sort of from a variety of perspectives, starting with what are the problems. And the way to summarize it is that there are really twin crises. One is that 58 million children are out of school and 250 million aren't learning after 4 years of school. So if you think about the problem that presents to countries, they're myriad problems. Children aren't reaching their potential. They're not able to take care of their own children. They're not reaching their own ability to contribute economically to societies. They can't vote. They can't contend with climate change. They can't provide resistance to extremism. So we talked about why that's a problem for developing countries. We talked about how the initial set of development goals, the Millennium Development Goals, went about correcting that problem. We also talked about the Sustainable Development Goals, which are a new group of development goals which are being debated by the international community now for the next 15 years. We talked about my organization and the work that it does. It's a global partnership, and we bring in all the major players in education. We talked about our mission, the objectives that we have, which include working with teachers, fragile states, working on financing, just to name a couple of them. We talked about some of our results, and we talked about some of the challenges ahead. I think that the main thing I'd like to leave them with is the idea that fixing the education problem is not a one-size-fits-all solution that the North can just sort of export to the South, that it really needs to be a country-driven approach given the nature of the challenges involved. These problems are complex, they endure, they are the result of many things coming together. And so you have to resist the quick win and the easy solution and try to understand what are the root of some of these challenges. You know, is it societal? Is it financial? Is it managerial? Is it absence of technology? Is it absence of opportunity? It's probably all of those things wrapped up into one. And so I would encourage them to be humble enough to realize that these are very complicated, very intransigent challenges, and to try to go about them with sort of a level of sophistication and appreciation for complexity involved. The questions that they asked were tremendous, and I really came away, first of all, very impressed with their level of knowledge of the space, very interested in some key features of it, contending with extremism, very interested in what is the right interplay between imposing ideals on a country and a country sort of following its own path. A lot of interest in women's education for obvious reasons. So I learned a lot about the questions that they asked, indeed.